still heading for Cinnabar. I hope I don't get too many random encounters on the way there. But yeah, what I'm gonna do is that not only am I gonna revive the fossils, I'm actually gonna explore the place a little. And by that I mean, of course, you know, the usual talk to everyone routine that I do in every town. So it'll already be done by the time I reach Cinnabar Island for real. Yeah, talking to everyone is always a good habit to have in RPGs. There's only one exception that I know of, and it's Mysidia in Final Fantasy IV. Because some of the NPCs give you all sorts of status effects, and since you don't have a white mage with you at that point, well, you get one a little later, but she's got almost no spells to speak of right off the bat, so you gotta either waste your items or go to the inn. Now, one thing that's particular about Cinnabar Island is that in this place, you don't have access to the gym right away. You gotta go through one of the most tedious dungeons ever just to get the key to the gym. And when I mean it's tedious, well, it's really annoying because of, you know, the switches that open some doors and close some, but it always occurs really far away, so you gotta do some serious mileage to see what you just did by pressing the switch. And that means a lot of random encounters. And yes, I know I could avoid them by using a repel, but it's not such a good idea because the experience gained from wild Pokémon is always good in a game with a limited amount of trainers. And buying repels in bulk isn't a good idea, since not only because there's a limited amount of trainers, there's also a limited amount of money until you can run the Elite Four without consuming too many items. So yeah, you better fight those battles. Oh yeah, I was forgetting, now I've got over 100 subscribers to my YouTube channel, so everyone who subscribed, well, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy what I'm doing, and yeah, now to come back to a subject that I was talking about in the last video, that is the lack of pace in battles in the later generations. I'm talking about, of course, the battles in-game, not on simulators. Those are really, really quick. But in-game, I was talking about, you know, when Pokemon cry before dying, it's always sort of a lower tone than their regular cry, so they sound like they've been injured and stuff. Whether it's really necessary or not, well, it's up for debate, really. Some people like it, some people don't. I also covered the pre-battle dances. Some of them are short and sweet, but there are some of them who drag on forever, like Electrike in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. That guy takes forever, and it's just open mouth, close mouth, open mouth again, close mouth again, and that for like 10 seconds! But the real irritant, as Repto pointed out in the comments to the last video, is, well, it's really an underrated factor, but it's really, I think you'll agree with us both when we say it's really annoying. It's how, you know how the HP bar depletes? Well, it's inversely proportional to how much HP the Pokemon has. So while Pokemon like Shuckle will see their HP go down very fast, Pokemon like Snorlax and Blissey, well, they take forever. They've got over 500, even 600, 700 HP at times, and it takes forever. And then it takes like 3 minutes just for a pixel to disappear, and then you'd fall just short of a one-hit KO, and then they use Rest or Soft-Boiled or whatever, so you waste another 5 minutes watching the health bar fill up. Damn! Why? It takes forever! And yes, if you're paying attention to the video and not the audio, I know what you're thinking. Yes, there actually was a metronome TM in Red, Blue, and Yellow. Now, why did they did that? I don't know. It's a really fun move, but it's really not recommended for use in serious battles, because for every Thunderbolt or Ice Beam you get like 40 pounds and scratches and splashes and hardens and useless moves like that. Moves that are viable are really few and far between when you look at how many moves there are. Oh man, I forgot to take the fossils from the PC. I'm sorry, that's what I gotta do, and by the same occasion, I'm going to deposit Spearow into the PC, and I'm going to revive Aerodactyl first in order to use it as my new HM slave for flying around while waiting for Articuno. Because I think you'll agree with me on that. A level 30 Aerodactyl is going to be much more useful than a level 3 Spearow if I happen to be in a jam, and of course, flying around an Aerodactyl is a lot more comfortable than flying around on a Spearow, both for me and for the Pokémon. Now, as I was about to say, there are 467 moves in all, if memory serves me correctly, and out of them, well, I think less than half have any practical use whatsoever. Even, borderline moves that are rarely ever used, but still have some interest, like moves like, Charge Beam and the Bubble Beam for those Pokemon that don't get surfed, the Elemental Fangs, Gyarados with Ice Fang being, of course, the most notable example. And yeah, I cancelled that out because I picked the Helix Fossil instead of the old Amber. Now, yeah, as I said, I want to revive Aerodactyl first, so that Aerodactyl ends up in my party, and Omanite ends up in my PC. Oh man, I love how it goes straight to my PC if, I have too many Pokemon on my team. Oh no, so I got to exit the building, not just the room. But back to the comments section of the last video, Repto also pointed out that the lowering of the levels in the Elite Four and Platinum may not only be due to the fact that the Pokemon used are stronger, but also due to the fact that, in Victory Road, usually you get really strong Pokemon to face from trainers and wild Pokemon alike. Well, in the 4th generation, you got, weak Pokemon like Bronzer, and speaking of Bronzer, I was talking earlier about Byron's Bronzer, but Mars and Jupiter also have Bronzers in their possession in the battle at Spear Pillar, and they still got Bronzers, and it continues all the way to Victory Road. So of course that means lots and lots and lots of grinding just to be able to keep up with the levels the Elite Four throws at you. So yeah, I'd say it's a combination of both factors that cause the levels to be lower, which isn't quite as much of a problem as it could be because, well, it's only for one battle. When you return to fight the Elite Four later on, well, their levels have risen by 16. You meet a level 78 Garchomp along the way. That's high! So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna take out the Fly HM so that I can teach it to Aerodactyl. And whoops, wrong PC. I gotta go in my own PC. And yeah, I'm going to pick up the Fly HM, and it wouldn't be such a bad idea to... No, I think I did that earlier. Yeah, I deposited the Metronome TM earlier. Of course, it's one I'm going to sell once I run out of room in the PC again, because it's bound to happen sooner or later. Now to deposit that HM back into the PC, because I don't need to carry it on me, even though I know I'm going to use it sooner than later. Once I get Articuno, I'm certainly going to teach it to it so that I can put Aerodactyl in the PC. But yeah, now it's time to head to Fuchsia, and from there the Seafoam Islands. Now, as you might expect, I'm going to go at it from the front entrance, or from Route 19, that is, because if I decided to go... Oh, come on! I gotta go all around that block? Oh, I hate how that city's designed. Fortunately, I won't need to return here too often from now on. But as I was saying, I'd run into a dead end pretty fast if I entered the Seafoam Islands from Route 20. Okay, next time.